Good morning, and here is my second recording about ezTalks. I found ezTalks webinar demo and I tried to record this demo.
ezTalks Webinar is a powerful webinar platform for online training, marketing, and live events. Now, I'm going to show you how to use the ezTalks webinar platform. Here we go. Here's how to schedule a webinar via ezTalks. Go to the ezTalks website at www.eztalks.com, sign up or sign into the ezTalks account, and then you'll see this dashboard. Find the webinar section on the home page, or you can click on the webinar button from the left side menu. Click on Schedule a Webinar. Here we have options such as Details and Waiting Room. Details. On the Details page, you can add the topic of your webinar. You can also select the webinar type. Live Webinar. As the name suggests, it's the live streaming webinar. Automated Webinar is a pre-recorded and live simulated webinar that you can preset to a particular time to automatically start your webinar. On-demand webinar is also pre-recorded, but the registrants can watch and replay it at any time. Next, you can set the date, time, and time zone for your webinar. Registration allows you to decide if your participants have to register to join in or not. If selecting On, you'll notice Registration and Thank You options showing above. We'll talk about this in a moment. After enabling registration, you can also get a payment option to create either a free or a paid webinar. If you select a paid webinar, you need to set a price and a PayPal account to receive the payments, as well as choose the currency. ezTalks also enables you to stream your live webinars on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. For YouTube Live, you'll be required to activate your YouTube account for live streaming 24 hours prior to your webinar. For more information, please refer to this link to see all the instructions. To do Facebook live streaming, you can select it here. Now you're asked to input the server URL and the server key. For more information, please refer to this link and follow the instructions. Finally, you can enable the auto recording right here, which will automatically start to record your webinar and save the recording to the cloud storage. Waiting Room. The waiting room will be the first thing that participants see when waiting for your webinar to begin. Here, you can upload your own cover and add your webinar introduction, such as its topic, agenda, or webinar host, to keep your audience engaged. You can also personalize it by changing the font size and style. Registration page. The registration page allows you to upload your own logo and set the fields for the participants to fill out when registering for your webinar. Some fields, such as first and last name, are required by default. You can decide to add more fields depending on what kind of information you want to collect from your audience. Here we have phone number and company name. Also, you can find more options on the right side. By clicking on the checkbox, you can add or remove the required information. The ezTalks registration feature is a great way to know more about your audience. Thank you page. On the Thank You page, you can add your own thank you information to get connected with your audience. This will be visible to the registrants as soon as they fill out the registration form. Now you can press Preview in the upper right corner to see all the settings you've made. If you're happy with how everything looks, you can exit the preview in the upper right corner. And now you can publish it by clicking Publish. After publishing your webinar, you have a few options here, such as Invite Panelist, Invite Participant, and Back to List. Now let's go back to List to view My Webinars. My Webinar page. On My Webinar page, you can see the list of all your webinars. Right-click on the webinar you've scheduled, or click on the three dots on the right side if you're using your phone or a tablet. In this drop-down menu, you'll see these options. Preview is used to preview the webinar details. Start will start your webinar. Edit will allow you to edit and change your webinar settings. Copy the registration URL. By copying the registration URL, you can post it on your social media platforms or other channels so that more people can register for your webinar. Invite. You can invite panelists or participants through emails. View joining details. You can view the details of your webinar attendees, including email, name, joined time, exited time, etc. Duplicate. You can duplicate the same settings with a different webinar ID and link when scheduling another webinar. And lastly, you can close or delete the webinar.